You know, it's been a long time since I've paid any attention to my channel, and I admit it's been because I've been focusing on Abyssal Musings with my co-host Samuel the Infamous, which I enjoy. He and we've been doing it for years now. Excuse me. And so by default, I put a lot of emphasis and work into it. In fact, I'm actually doing that. I was doing that earlier because this week is quiz week, so I've been hard at work on that. But lately, I've been getting the itch. I've been getting the itch to start showing some love to my channel. And since this is Valentine's week, I figured, eh, this week is as good as any, right? So, with that said, welcome everyone. Thank you for checking out my little channel here. Those of you who have been around for a while and waiting for me to put something out, thank you for being patient. I know that I've said it 1,000 times. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put something out. Even as my phone goes off right now, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and something always gets in the way. But this time around, I found some space and some time to do a couple of videos for you guys. And so with that, tonight's is part one of a two video series that I'm going to be doing, and it's on a couple of things. It's I've got some entertainment news that I'm going to talk about, and and it's going to end in the second half with a reoccurring story that I've been noticing more and more, and I'll leave that as a nice cliffhanger for the second video. But with that said, um, I'm going to start things off with everybody's favorite pastime, vampires. Those of us who love all things horror, you cannot have the genre without vampires. And this time is no different. So I came across this earlier today, Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. And what caught my eye was this name right here. Excuse me. Thought I muted, but it is a name that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. Mina Suvari. Those of you who may not know or remember who Mina Suvari is, she was one of the American Pie group crew. I believe she was the girlfriend of, and I forget the character's name, but she was the girlfriend of the tallest guy, the guy that played lacrosse in the first one, in the first American Pie movie. So I haven't seen her name in, it's been decades since I've read her name, heard her name, said her name. I forgot she existed until today. And of all things, I find out she's playing a vampire, not just a vampire, but the vampire, Elizabeth Bathory. So apparently, this star-studded horror comedy, as they say, um, it's going to be released next month in March in limited theaters on March 20th. Now, why is March 20th? Why did that catch my eye? March 20th is MegaCon week. And for those of us who are going to be at MegaCon, um, this just gives me one more thing to do if it's, if there are any theaters showing it, because apparently it's going to be shown in select theaters. Let me scroll down. In fact, yep, there it is. The horror comedy opens in select theaters March 20th via Strand releasing. Sink your fangs into the trailer below. Now, I did watch the trailer. Unfortunately, we know how YouTube is and we know how the movie studios are, so I can't play the trailer. Now, I'll say this as a rant. It makes no sense to me why a movie company would copyright strike a YouTuber showing one of their trailers. And this is why. It is a trailer. It is not the whole movie. I could understand if it was the whole movie, but it's not. It's the trailer. And the point of your trailer is to gain interest. You're supposed to gain people's interest into going and watching your movie. More people than ever before are tuning into YouTubers and other alternate types of media for genres like this, for information like this, trailers, movies, video games, you name it. You would think that they would welcome the fact that someone is showcasing a trailer and saying, hey, I may like this, I may not like it, but if you're interested, go watch it. Now, we know that not everybody likes everything. One YouTuber might look at this trailer and decide that they want to see the movie and they like it. Another YouTuber will look at the trailer, call it trash, and then spend however much time that they want to spend on their stream trashing it. Well, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And just because someone trashes a movie doesn't mean that another person isn't going to see it. Because I've seen people, YouTubers, well known, little known people on the street talk trash about how much they don't want to see a movie, how much they think it was gonna that how much they think it's gonna suck, and then they go watch it anyway. So me personally, I would say just show a trailer. If it's my movie and somebody wants to show the trailer, I would just let them show the trailer because you're gaining eyes, you're gaining interest. You could show a movie trailer and just rave and rant about it and say it is the greatest. It's probably going to be the greatest movie that you'll ever see, and I guarantee you, someone in your audience is going to say that looks like trash. I've seen it happen. I've been on panels where it happened. That same person was shown a trailer of a movie that was lower than low budget, slapper than slapstick, and stupider than stupid. And they were raving about, oh man, this looks great. I gotta go watch this. With me scratching my head, wondering why they're showing so much enthusiasm. But again, what one person doesn't like, another person's gonna like. So why copyright strike people who are giving you're giving your product free publicity, right? Because back in the day, people had to pay for advertising time. They still do. But any YouTuber that has an audience, even if it's just one person subscribed to their channel, that's still traffic. That's still good for you. So why trip, right? But I digress. Let's get let's read this article. So it says, deep in the American South, a back alley abyss abyss. Oh boy, I don't even know if I let me let me do this. ABSINTHE bar harbors a deadly secret. Countess Elizabeth Bathory and her glamorous coven of vampires keep their killer instincts sharp by preying on lonely singles through dating apps, seducing and slaughtering to preserve their youth. But when Elizabeth swipes right on the wrong profiles, a cunning undercover vampire hunter and a band of emotionally stunted bros, the hunt spirals into hilariously horrifying chaos. Blood flies, fangs pierce flesh, and the bar erupts into a glitter-soaked, green fairy-winged, fang-filled fever dream of grindhouse gore, terrible decisions, and fashionably fatal carnage. Savari stars with Ditchin Lackman from Severance, Stephen Dorff from Blade, India Isley, Underworld Awakening, Tom Berenger from Platoon, Rosa Salazar from Alita Battle Angel, and Tyrese Gibson from the Fast and Furious. That is a studded ensemble. It really is. Um, who else is in there? Lachlan Monroe for Freddy vs. Jason, Sarah Dumont from Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, Mark Boone Jr. from Sons of Anarchy, Sherman Augustus from Stranger Things, and Timothy Murphy from True Detective round out the cast. Risk Cutters, a love story producer. Wow. Wrist Cutters, a love story producer, Adam Sherman writes and directs, in addition to producing alongside Marcus Inglefield and George Lee. Brian O'Shea, Nat McCormick, and Danny Guzman executive produce. This is a vampire story inspired by the chilling, lesser known legend of Elizabeth Bathory, the 16th century Hungarian countess rumored to bathe in the blood of virgins to stay young, said Sherman. I set out to make the kind of horror film I love growing up. One that's wild, disturbing, darkly funny, and made for the big screen. Vampires of the Velvet Lounge is rated R for strong, bloody violence, gore, language, and brief nudity. And there's the poster. And that's Mina getting ready to have a drink. I don't know if that's O negative or not, or if she's just drinking it straight up, or if it's on the rocks. But she's about to have a drink. So, my personal take after watching the trailer. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I Before I clicked on the play button, I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in watching it. It caught my interest because it was Mina Savari, and I admit I had a slight crush on her when American Pie came out, and then I played the trailer, and I don't know how. I don't expect the movie to be great, but it looks action filled. It's got some. It's definitely dark. It's worth seeing. It kind of reminded me of I don't want to I don't want to say campy, but almost like a campy version of Blade, like the first Blade movie. It was the atmosphere and the darkness. It was kind of reminded me of that. Um, and with the actors that they have, I mean they've got some solid actors in there. So I suspect that it's not going to be any part of it that is slapsticky, or kind of comedic. Is going to be that way on purpose because, like I said, most of this cast that I know of are excellent actors and are good with their timing, and they're not newbies, right? So their dialogue, their acting is not going to look out of place and generic. It's going to be authentic and pretty real. Um, as far as Mina's portrayal of Elizabeth Bathory, I could tell that she's never played a vampire before. But I don't think that she was written to be the sultry one because some of her other, the other vampires in her coven, they're definitely the traditional, seductive, sexy vampire types that we're all used to in our cinema. She seemed to be more brooding, um, more a matter of fact, and just straightforward. So we'll see. It caught my interest. So I'll be checking it out while I'm down in Florida if I have time. Uh, I'll find some time somehow, some way. So it comes out on the 20th. So that's what, Friday. It won't be Friday night. I know that. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. It'll be Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. I have no idea, but I'm gonna check it out. All right. Next up in our two-parter. So A movie franchise that's near and dear to my heart, Scream 7. It is coming out, I believe it's coming out at the end of this month. If there's a movie that I'm looking forward to, it is this one. If there is a franchise that I always get giddy about, it is Scream. Now, I understand depending on who you talk to, some people liked uh, certain Scream movies better than others. I when I think about the entire series and the one that I liked the least, in the way that if I never watched it again, I wouldn't care. If it somehow got lost of out of print, I wouldn't care. And that is Scream 3. Scream 3, I wasn't really a fan of. Um, First, second one, the fourth one, and the last two that have been out, loved them. Loved them. I thought they were well done. I thought they were great. I enjoyed it. I'm curious as to what Scream 7 is going to be about. Um, and as I don't know if you guys know, but the reason why Scream 7 is shifted back to Nev Campbell's character, to Sidney Prescott. More importantly, more in details I found out recently, more towards her daughter. But that wasn't the original script. That wasn't it wasn't the original plans. The original plan, from what I read, is it was supposed to be a continuation of the other two young ladies. Their names escape me. One of them plays Wednesday and on Netflix, but it was supposed to be a continuation of those two sisters. And from what I read, was that the older sister eventually was supposed to go insane and turn into Ghostface. That's not going to happen because of remarks that she made on her social media page that got her fired. And then the young lady who plays Wednesday on Netflix, she then apparently quit in solidarity. Um, but if I remember correctly, I know she had other projects going at the time, and I think she had to film um, this Wednesday, the second season. So I don't know how much I believe that she quit in solidarity with with her co-star, or if it was, hey, I've got too many projects going on, and I got to pick one or the other, and maybe Wednesday's pairing or more. I don't know. It's all speculation to me, or from me. So you would think that with all the hiccups that they've had going on, that the movie leading into the movie things will go smoothly, and then I come across this today. Scream 7, a legal battle is now underway over who actually created the Ghostface mask. Now, people who aren't familiar with the franchise or really just aren't into movies like that, I can understand at first glance you'd be like, why are you tripping over a stupid mask? But hey, look, it's a copyright. At this point, I mean, it's as famous as Jason's hockey mask and Freddy Krueger's glove. And so if there was a fight that's going to start over the mask, I would have thought that the fight would have started around Scream 2, or even Scream 4 when Wes Craven was still alive, but apparently not. So let's see. Oh, the mask that was Wes Craven's Scream Forever, immortalized as Ghostface, was originally a mass-produced mask that bore the name Peanut-Eyed Ghost, inspired by Edvard Munich's painting The Scream. Ah, okay. I think I'm starting to see where the issues come from. The mask was released by Fun World in the early 90s, and the story goes that Scream's production team stumbled upon it in a house while they were scouting locations. While Craven had tasked KNBEFX with designing some alternate options, Fun World and Dimension ultimately joined forces, and the Peanut Eye Ghost became Ghostface. The rest, as they say, is horror history. All these years later, Fun World has remained the right holders of the classic Ghostface mask, frequently releasing official merch that's not actually branded Scream. That merch includes everything from the Easter Bunny Ghostface mask to knife blocks and even an elf on the shelf inspired Ghostface product with an official Ghostface vodka on the way soon. So they're making money off of the Scream franchise without officially saying it. It's like a backdoor way to make money off of the movies, in my opinion, allegedly. But now Los Angeles effects company Alterian Ghost Factory is claiming that they actually made the mask before Fun World did back in the early 90s, and a legal battle is underway. Why is this just not going on? That's my question. Why are you? We are at Screams. We are 7 movies in. Why didn't you do this with Scream 1 when you saw all of that money rolling in? Why would you wait 7 movies? That makes absolutely no sense. The Hollywood Reporter explains the rights to the iconic Ghostface mask has sparked a legal battle with Spyglass and Paramount Pictures suing a Los Angeles-based special effects studio claiming ownership of the droopy-eyed horror visage. In a lawsuit filed on Friday in California federal, the employees say that the Alterian Ghost Factory is threatening copyright infringement litigation ahead of the release of the next installment of the Scream franchise. The suit seeks a court order which would bar the special effects studio from suing, establishing that it's on solid legal ground. Yeah, you're going to have problems 7 movies in. You're going to have a fight on your hands, whether you're right or wrong. The complaint from Paramount and Spyglass reads Alterian has never legally established that it owns the rights to the Ghostface mask, and it will not be able to prove it now in this litigation, and seeking to disrupt the release of a completed motion picture mere weeks before its release, the 7th installment of a franchise that Alterian watched grow in silence for 3 decades. What did I just say? Is an outrageous attempt to shake down. Ulterior argument, THR notes, quote, Fun World has no right to license the mask, saying that it created the underlying design first, which was later copied by Fun World, suit says. Scream 7, slashing into theaters on February 27th, has been marred in headline-making messiness from the very beginning, from the firing of Melissa Barrow, who played the older sister of the last 2 movies, to the exit of Jenna Ortega, which is the other one, Miss Wednesday herself, and the recent use of AI as part of the marketing campaign. AI is a tool, people. It's not going anywhere. Get over it. Much of the chatter about Scream 7 thus far has been less than positive. We'll see if it changes once the film is unleashed. Stay tuned for more of all things Scream 7. Let me tell you something. People who love the Scream franchise and like to go to the movies and experience it in the movie don't give a rat's behind by all of that. They want to see the movie. And Alterian trying to file a lawsuit this close, yeah, you're going to piss off a lot of people. It's not going to help your case. This definitely, and I'm not an attorney. From the outside looking in, from a viewer's point of view, from someone reading this, this looks like a shakedown. Something else is going on besides behind the scenes. To me, why would you wait 7 movies before you say something? I would love to read whatever evidence they've got because I'm wondering, did someone have, some kind of copyright or something that barred them from being able to bring the suit? I mean, you would think somewhere around Scream 3, they would have found a way to fight that. Maybe even Scream 2. But it is what it is. It's going to be very interesting. But I know, well, dang, I wanted to see it that night, and now I'm remembering I have to go to a wedding that day. So I'll have to wait until the next day. And I do plan on doing a review on it without releasing any spoilers. Um, so I'll have to figure out how to do that. But with that said, everyone, that is the end. This is the end of part one. And stay tuned for part two because it is coming sooner than you think. Later.